an accommodating negotiator. I like to put relationships first and preserve that above my own need to win. For instance, my husband and I are embarking on finishing our basement, and for a very long time we were at a standstill. He wanted to close off every room, the bedroom, the office, a media room, and I was very against it because I thought it would make the basement feel small and enclosed, and I liked our current setup, which was very open. So we were at a standstill, and we decided to walk away from the negotiation table and just take a breather. And for some miraculous reason, when we came back 6 months later, he decided that, okay, if you let me have my media room, then I will agree to letting the other spaces be open. So here's an example where I did not push my opinion on him because I wanted to preserve our marriage. And I allowed him to sit on my idea until he finally came around. So that's an example of a win-win situation. Now, the accommodating way of negotiating is not the approach that I took when Lice decided to take hold of my daughter's hair and reside in my house. When that happened, I was undoing my daughter's hair. She had just come back from ballet practice. It was the night before the big performance, the performance where I had spent 4 weekends in a ballet studio for many hours watching her not really dance. So I was because she's 5, so there's not much dancing at 5 years old. So I was mad because we had practiced so long, and I really wanted her to do the performance, but she had lice. And so I was undoing her bun, and this little critter just crawled out of her hairline, and my husband what is that white thing crawling out of her hair? And I looked at it, and we caught it. I don't know how we caught it. We put it in a bag, and we held it up to the light, and we said, "Is that a tick? Is that a tick? Can't be lice. Maybe it's a tick. I really hope it's a tick." We had just gone camping, so they could very possibly be a tick. This is the picture of the actual lice in my daughter's head, and if you Google white bug in hair, that image comes up. So it wasn't a tick, it was lice. Let me tell you a few facts about lice, so you don't judge me. So the CDC says, 1, it's not related to cleanliness because my house is clean. Second, it is passed from direct head-to-head contact. So I blame the ballet studio because they were using headpieces that were just being shared by all of them. And not one of those moms told me that their daughter had lice. So shame on them. So it's head-to-head transmission. And then the third thing is that there are between 6 and 12 million cases of lice every year in America. So that's a lot of lice. So, Toastmasters and guests, let me tell you 3 tips on how you negotiate with lice to get it out of your house. The first tip is to maintain a professional composure during negotiations. What you don't want to do is panic, like I did. Because lice is over there, watching from your daughter's head, knowing that you are fearful, and they will just latch on and lay more eggs. So what you don't want to do is run around the house with trash bags and just start stuffing things in them. Stuffed animals, blankets, pillows, your kids' clothes that they're wearing. You don't want to do that. First of all, it makes the lice stronger. And second of all, it makes your kids think this is funny. And they start sitting really close to each other with their heads almost touching. It's no, stop, don't do that. They're horrible people. So don't do that, don't panic. What you do, you face in the lice, you calmly gather the fluffy things and you put them in the wash. And you tell the lice, you go to the swimming pool. All right, so you put them in the swimming pool, hot water, and then you dry them in heat for 30 minutes, And that's supposed to kill the lice. So you maintain a calm composure through this all, and you don't freak out. That's the first tip. Second, you find and build common ground. So first of all, you have to get a team together. So you and your partner, or whoever else is, hopefully there's another adult at home with you, that can be your team. That can be your negotiation team. And you find common ground with them first. Okay, you both want to get rid of the lice. You both have no experience because your other child has never had lice before. And he wants to call a professional. It's a Saturday, so there's no professionals working on Saturday. And you said, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to text my friend who has had lice in her house before, and you are going to go to CVS and find some unsuspecting employee there and ask them if they have over-the-counter solutions. And you know what? They do. They have lots. And he was there for like 45 minutes while I am freaking out at home, talking to the CVS lady about what she's done at home, you know, what can work. So he came back, I dealt with the lice. And I told the lice, you know, you've had your fun, it's time to move on. So here's the killing solution. I spent hours combing her hair, and I think I got every little bugger out. Unfortunately, 2 weeks later, that lice showed back up in my house again. And that's when you move on to step 3 of negotiations. You engage in mutually beneficial discussions. And you tell them, there are other heads to invest. Not mine, not my kids, not my son, not my husband, but there are other ones to invest. So we're going to try this again, and maybe you can move on. Some fresh food, you know? You've had this dish, go on to another one. And you know what happened? The family across the street with 3 boys all got lice. Now, I did not plant a stuffed animal, if that's what you were thinking. I didn't do that. They got lice all on their own. But I'm saying, when you go through the steps of negotiation, you can really fight lice. And we've been lice-free for about 2 months now, knock on wood. See, so negotiations don't have to be stressful. You can win. You just have to maintain your calmness, find and build common ground, and then have mutually beneficial discussions. And these can help with your relationships, your family, your friends, your colleagues, and any other vermin that may be in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, for that terrifying speech. I'm sure the other Lisa's very excited to help.